you can win a single game, championship level game, without flow. You can do it. You can grit it out, you can tough it out, you can play your best. And in fact, come back to this with me. There's always a day that comes when you have to perform at your best without flow. And from a learning perspective, that's the day you're actually looking for. So we'll come back to that in a second. But the answer to your question with Korean coaches is you can do it once. You cannot win a 7-game series without flow. In fact, I once wrote a piece, I don't remember where it was for, maybe the Washington Post, and it was me and the former point guard from the University of Rhode Island basketball team, and we were talking about how in the Final Four in basketball, you can't win. You can win one of those games without flow, maybe two, but basketball is a game of my team's in flow, we've knocked the other team out of flow. Oh no, now the other team's in flow, we got to get back in flow. Like it's literally the cognitive side of basketball is really amazing from that perspective. And so the thinking is you can't win an NBA championship, but you can win a Super Bowl, right? You can show up for one game and grit it out and just do it, but it's not repeatable and it's exhausting. So anybody who's ever been through that experience, the recovery is like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times as long afterwards because it's so grueling. Flow provides, among the things the neurochemicals do, you get a lot of pain relief. So in athletic activities, you're getting really, there are 20 different endorphins in the brain, but the most common endorphin is 100 times more potent than medical morphine. So these are heavy painkillers the brain produces naturally for us. You try doing something very physically challenging with no painkillers in your body. First of all, there's a little trauma there also. In fact, one of the things that's in our country sort of towards the end of the book is a conversation I have with Laird Hamilton, the big wave surfer, about something that I'd never known before, which is that you can have PTSD from success, from physical, like I was out there doing hard, physically challenging things. I was doing them successfully. I was not crashing. I was pulling them all off. But the cumulative weight of all that fear at a certain point, like of going against, pushing myself through a fear barrier day after day for like 6 months straight, by the end of it, there was like residual trauma. What psychologists talk about is allostatic load or allostatic overload. But it literally, I had low-grade PTSD from success, which I didn't even know was possible until I ran this first
And is that because you're operating in flow state all the time, and then the
no.
and the chemicals?
So it's a lot of it is you're not operating in flow all the time, right?
Understood.
Like,
Okay.
I taught myself how to park ski, right? And it took 6 months, probably 5 months. That meant I skied 88 days. So 88 days, I had to show up at the hill knowing I was there to do something that scared me to death and could possibly put me in the hospital. And it didn't matter that my formula was working. I was doing it successfully. I wasn't going to the hospital. I was accomplishing my goals, but it didn't change the fact that confronting fear day after day after day, physical fear, I was not emotionally prepared for. And I think that the same thing is probably true. I think we have the same thing in, say, business challenges. I think part of like leveling up your game, because you can level up your game and then not believe it's real. You know what I mean? You sort of get to that place and you're like, I'm here, but I don't know if I belong here. And sort of like you have this, it's not quite PTSD, but there's a lot more anxiety that starts to hurt your performance based around those sorts of, oh my God, I've got here so quickly. I got lucky. There's no way this shit could be real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember the very first time, it was in my 30s, that I successfully started adding zeros to my income every month. You know what I mean? Like I was really moving the needle for the very first time. After like 6 months of it, I was just like, there's no way this shit can be real. I just got lucky. Guys like me don't make this kind of money. I'm like a punk rock kid from Cleveland. This isn't real. And I think it took me like 1.5 years to sort of get over that and get back to where I was.